I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to call to order the Town of Hudson Town Council regular meeting for November 3rd at 6 p.m. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Stadler?
Here.
Councilmember Knopf?
Here.
Councilmember Chavez?
Here.
Councilmember Hammack?
Here.
Councilmember Warren?
Here.
Councilmember Biskins?
Here.
Mayor Hargis?
Here. Are there any additions to the agenda?
There are no additions to the agenda.
Point in our program for citizens' comments. Anybody wishing to address the council on anything that is not already set for public hearing may step up to the podium at this time, state your name and address, and you have 3 minutes. Anybody like to address the council?
Hi, I'm Deborah. I live at 253 Birch Street, and I want to see if you guys would put a stop sign in at 3rd and Birch. Because it's on 3rd, there's a stop sign, but on Birch, there's not. And I'm getting real fed up with people gunning it down the street from 2nd to 4th or 4th to 2nd. Like I'm literally about to sit outside and start chucking rocks at people's car and yelling at them to slow down.
Yell all you want, but please don't throw anything.
I know I won't, but
Take pictures.
okay. My camera catches it every now and again, but there's certain cars that just gun it down the street. And then like there's a couple neighbors that don't even stop at the stop sign because they live the 2nd or 3rd house in and they just turn the corner. And I don't know how many times I've been out there and they've almost caused an accident. So I just want to see if we can get a stop sign put in.
How hard would it be if we can't get a stop sign to put like speed bumps?
Yeah,
Or like
that
those
too.
raised things?
The problem
By
with
the
the
school.
speed bumps is the more speed bumps we put in town, the harder it is for the fire trucks and any ambulances to get through. It's really hard on the great big trucks and the
Okay.
plows.
Yeah.
How hard would it be to get a stop sign then?
We'll have to look into it, but because it's our own town, we can put it in if we see that there's a need for it and we don't have to go through CDOT's.
Okay.
Okay. Or even have the
Requirements.
police control that or like just sit and watch.
Yeah, the
area, but
problem
that's
is
a lot.
they'll see them
Yeah.
and they'll be good when they're there and not when they're not. So
Yeah.
we will definitely look into that.
Okay, cool.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, consent agenda.
You got one
Oh,
more.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I put my head down too quick.
Craig Wilson at 243 Birch Street. And I'd like to bring to your attention the fact that this year was a record year in the weather with 100-degree weather that we had this summer. And I don't know how much you guys get out of your offices, but you drive down those streets and they're cracking. And maintaining is so much easier than trying to repair something that's gone or irreplaceable. So I just like to bring that to the attention of the town hall. And also some of the things that we've gotten in the mail, the flyers and whatnot with the things that you're asking back on, you know, replies on this and that and the other thing. And come to find out, the property that I don't even own in the alleyway is my responsibility. And that's not my property. So I'm not understanding that part because maybe it's an easement, but it's still the property of the town. So imposing fines and tickets on your property, I don't understand. So you may want to think about that and as a board and get back to us on how this is possible that dictatorship has come to the town of Hudson because there's no law stating that I have to take care of this town. I've moved here and I'm paying taxes. Thank you.
Is he talking about like crack seals, like going through and like crack?
The main
sealing
streets.
The roads, okay.
I think
just wanna
so.
Make sure I was understanding.
Anybody else? Okay, on to the consent agenda. Everybody get a chance to read through the consent agenda. And if there are no questions, I would entertain a motion.
I have a couple questions.
Go ahead.
So with the special meeting, I can't remember, did we open that to the public because we were not in here? And then with the not having our own town recording, I don't want to approve that because I think right now we should be doing everything by the book. And without having the recording and Corey having to do it on his phone, I don't think was right.
Starting in there was fine because nobody was here, that we have to publicize it. Anybody that shows up would have just been sent right out, but we
I
have to
get that,
publicize
but-
it and it was done. And yes, Corey has the
I know, but it
recording.
wasn't on the town recorder. So I
It
have-
doesn't matter. Sorry. Hi, guys. I'm from the sky. Sorry about that. So the open meetings law requires an electronic recording and it doesn't specify that it has to be done in any particular way. So the town has complied with that. And it has to be kept for a certain number of days and then it no longer has to
Okay.
exist.
All right. And then my other thing was the fuel for the police was $150 short of $5,000 this month. So I wasn't sure if there was a mistake somewhere. I mean, I know gas prices went up, but that's like doubled what it has been. So I just was a little confused and needed a little bit more clarification on why it was so much.
Guy,
That's what it is. I can't give an explanation. That's what it is.
You have no explanation as to how much they're filling up and if it's just to and from work or driving around here.
I would assume it's for the purposes that it's been for the last several years.
Okay, because that's an extreme amount and we haven't been that high, so just thought I would ask. All right, well, that's not clarifying, but okay.
Well, is there a way that, like, when someone has a number or something for a card, would they would know who was using it?
Yeah, like I would
the
think that.
the
would be
detectives
okay.
have been given a card.
Yeah, but is there like a way to, like, you know, like when you punch in or something and you know who's doing it? I mean, can you track
They-
like that?
They know who's doing it by whose card is being run.
'Cause there's one charge for 805 in here. So I was just curious. I just think it's a lot of money.
One single charge for 805?
Yes. On line number 5, 805.63. You've got 588, 254, 322, 805, 158, 395. And you go down, you got 351, 242, 326, 451, 428, 291, and that doesn't include the Love's charge for $100 and something because we're also getting gas at Love's still. Which I don't know why it's not included in the Wax Bank. And then that does not include the finance charge of 320.
So let me provide a little bit of clarification on that. The way we enter the West Bank statement, it's by receipt number. So it's who's ever charging that amount. So it is broken up into amounts of who's using what.
Okay,
Because when we get the statement, it shows the driver ID prompt, which is required for them to get gas, and it has their name of who's using what.
okay,
So that is how it's broken out on the payment of bills.
okay. So that was one person that used 805.63 then?
That is correct.
Okay. All right,
And that wouldn't have been just one charge. That was what you were paying the bank at that time
That was what they've charged for the month,
for the month. Yes.
for the
Okay.
statement.
but there's more than the officers and detectives that we have, so. I was just asking, because I've
So-
never seen it almost $5,000.
It-
To me, if you do 5,000 a month for 12 months, that's $57,000 in gas we're gonna spend.
So we have Public Works and the police on that.
Right,
which-
but I didn't include public works or wastewater. I just
Okay.
added up the police fuel. That's all I did. So, and it was almost $5,000. But that's, okay, that's
And
fine.
I can only speak to the bills that are paid. So that's how we break them down for the payment of bills on the report that you see.
Okay.
Anything else?
Nope.
Anybody else?
I had a question.
Mhm.
I was kind of going over it a little bit and I was just wondering, and I seen it was for the month, so I'm not familiar on how anything, but I seen a large amount for like 10,800 something for Fort Lupton, the city of Fort Lupton. Do we do
It's
that
for our-
every month?
For a water treatment plant.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. I just wanted to.
Yeah, we share it with them and we pay them for maintenance and any issues with it.
That's what I was thinking, but I wasn't
Yep.
sure. 'Cause it- Okay, that's the only one I was.
Okay. Anybody else? Then I would entertain a motion.
The motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Can I get a roll call, please?
Councilmember Chavez,
Yes.
Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Councilmember Knopf,
Yes.
Councilmember Stadler,
No.
Councilmember Hammack,
That's a tough one. That's a lot of gas. And I don't quite understand that. I'm gonna say no.
Councilmember Biskins,
Would we be able to get an explanation on the gas?
It is for gas for the,
But that's just, that's the whole. That's probably say no.
Mayor Hargis.
yes. Motion carries. All right, number 2, discussion. Clearwater Solutions Municipal Water Efficiency Plan. Do we have somebody on for that?
Yeah, Steve and Michelle are here.
And do you have anything new you would like to tell us, or just for the memo that you gave us?
I understood that we presented, I guess it's been a few weeks ago, and then council just needed more time to do a more thorough review. And I understood, I guess, that maybe we would be getting more comments from council at this meeting.
I thought that we asked them to come back with more incentives.
And that's what's in the memo,
Okay.
as well as an explanation on the gray water and untreated water, non-potable water. Did anybody else have any further direction for them for this water plan? And do you have?
I'm still working my way through the last page report. So.
Yeah. And does anybody have any questions on the memo? Okay. How much more time do you think you need, Daniel? Worse than, because it puts you to sleep faster.
Yeah.
You guys did a very good, thorough job, but it is a lot to go through. We will try to bring something back to you next meeting. Okay?
Would you like them to attend or?
We can probably just pass it on through you.
Okay. I'll put it on the agenda for next meeting.
Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank
Anybody
you.
have anything else for Steve and Michelle while they're here? Okay. Thanks, guys.
Okay, thank you.
All right, public hearing. I'd like to open the public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comment on the 2022 budget at 6:14. Will the clerk please state the purpose of the hearing?
A public hearing for the purpose of receiving comment on the 2022 budget.
Was the notice of this hearing published in the local paper?
Yes, it was.
For the record, the notice was published in the Greeley Tribune on April 6, 2021. Let the record show that the required public notification for tonight's public hearing has been met as stated. I will first recognize the town manager to give a presentation and respond to questions of the council member. I will then recognize members of the audience who wish to speak to the board, to the council regarding this proposed 2022 budget. Does the manager have a presentation for the council?
Not necessarily a presentation, just some things to go over. Per the requirements of your charter, the council shall hold a public hearing on the proposed budget on or before the 13th day of November of each year. You are reaching that criteria. Very little has changed from the prior two memos I put forth and the discussion we had in the work session. All that has been added is the rec committee stipends were added. Trails and paths were added for $150,000. The public works schedule for employees that we discussed, ratcheting down one employee and distributing that salary through the rest of the members, has been added. Other than that, there is nothing different from the work session. Any questions I can answer?
I have a question. I would like to see if we could reevaluate some of the part-time employees in the police department. I think they might need to go full-time because our 3 detectives have worked full-time. I did a core request and their hours each pay period are way more than part-time. So I think we might need to reevaluate and see if we need to place them full-time or if we keep them part-time and then pay out overtime to them, or what's the best way to go about that? Because I don't think that part-time employees should be working full-time. I think we should move them to full-time if that's the case. So I would like to just hold off on that one section of the budget so we can reevaluate and discuss what would be the best way to go about it for the town, if it's full-time or 2 full-time, 1 part-time, 1 full-time, 2 part-time, that kind of thing.
Well, basically tonight, all we're doing is the public hearing on the budget so that everybody can,
So we don't have to approve anything tonight?
not tonight,
Okay,
not
Okay.
tonight.
yeah, because I would just like to bring that into thought and all that.
Anybody have anything else? Is there any member of the public that wishes to address the council on this matter? If so, please sign in and state your name and address for the record. Nobody else online. Let the record show that nobody is getting up. There being no further presentations at this time, we'll close the public hearing and consider formal adoption of the 2022 budget at the December 1st, 2021 regular council meeting. Do any of the council members have any remaining questions for the staff on this matter?
No, just figuring out if we can figure that out.
Then I hereby close the public hearing at 6:18. Staff reports. Guy.
No report other than you guys are going to have your Christmas dinner on December 7th, and I confirmed that date again today with Pepperpot, and we'll be working on getting invites out.
Anybody have any questions for Guy? Hillary?
Nothing from me, thanks.
Charity?
Nothing, thank you.
Jen? Lee? Daniel? Candace?
No.
Lisa? Maria?
Just had a really good turnout for the trunk or treat.
I heard that.
Yeah.
Joe?
I'm actually good. Thank you.
Sarah? And I don't have anything either. So we come to the last of our citizens' comments. Anybody wishing to address the council on anything that was brought up tonight that they didn't get a chance to address may do so at this time. Step forward, state your name and address, and you get 3 minutes. And let the record show that nobody's coming forward. So meeting adjourned at 6:19. Thank you, everybody.